Hey everyone, iWIN Tom here with your weekly sweepstakes update. As I mentioned before, we're going to try and do this moving forward on a weekly basis and give you some insight on some of the things I touch on in the newsletter, but also just sweepstakes information in general. So one of the first things why I don't talk about individual sweeps publicly too often to protect our members, there are some that are just so mainstream that it's worth just putting out there and using as an example. One of those is the current Chipotle sweep that's going on during the NBA Finals. So every three-pointer, up to 35 a game, they are giving away codes for free burritos. Now, who doesn't want a free burrito? But your time is so much better spent than trying to win this sweep. It sounds like a great sweep. 300 every single time. And you can actually win once per game. So last night was game 3. This Friday will be game 4. Possible of 7 games. Lots of opportunities to win a free burrito. However, most of you actually have zero chance of winning this. And why do I say that? A lot of you have slow Wi-Fi or slow internet speeds. You have no chance that you're actually going to get the code that they tweet out and then text it and be one of the first 300 people. The other thing is you really shouldn't even be using Wi-Fi because data is typically faster than Wi-Fi. So you should be on your data if you're really trying to win. But most of us cannot either copy the code, paste it, and text it, or what they've started to do now is they're putting pictures out of the codes to force people to actually type it all in. And we're just not fast enough. You have to be extremely fast. When I say extremely fast, they typically, from the time the code is released to the time they're gone, it's between 2 and 3 seconds. If you can't do that, spend your time elsewhere. There's a lot more sweeps to win. Chipotle does this often, and they give away a lot of free burritos. Sometimes it's 1,000, 5,000, or 10,000. On those, it's much easier. But on 300, even though, again, it sounds like a large amount, it's actually really not. So use your time wisely. We've had a few winners, but not many because it is so hard to win. I have not won yet. I've tried a couple times and given up. I thought it was just impossible. The other thing I touch on tonight's issue is about broken sweeps. So every now and then a sweepstakes will not work. It'll be broken for whatever reason, or maybe your state's not listed. Maybe it's not letting you enter daily and it's supposed to. So what do? You can do one of two things. Are you the person who reaches out to the judging agencies, the sponsors, whoever else will listen to you to try and get it answered and get it fixed? Or are you the person who just skips it, moves on to the next sweep, and goes about your day, checking back on that sweep later on to see if it actually works? I personally am number 2. I skip those, I move on, I enter the sweeps that are working. I'll consistently go back and check to see if it's working because it's great. If it's down for the majority of the entry period and then it goes live the last week or two, I'm going to have a huge advantage over people who just wrote it off and never bothered to check back. But I don't want to be person number 1. Now, I respect if that's you, I actually thank you. I thank you a ton for doing that and bringing it to their attention so that hopefully they get it fixed and I can enter. But in the meantime, while you're spending a lot of time and effort doing that, I'm out winning other sweepstakes. So it's one of those time things. And I realize some of you love doing that and getting it fixed and getting the right person, but sometimes you're not even talking to the right person and you'll get 3 or 4 different answers depending on who you talk to. So again, it goes back to use your time wisely. The last thing I want to leave you with this week is stop looking for reasons you're not winning. Everyone tells me reasons they don't win. And a lot of times it's blaming sponsors, blaming judging agencies, blaming anyone else but themselves. I think you should be the reason you are winning. So be the reason you are winning, and that starts with iWIN contests. See you next week. Have a great week.